If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. I could probably end the list right there, but I'm going to continue. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Speaking from personal experience, creating a podcast felt so overwhelming. I didn't know where to start, but using Anchor was a no-brainer. Their website and app is user-friendly. You're able to navigate through it easily. It's pretty cool, guys. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. A one-stop shop. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. On this week's episode of the Andy Center podcast, we sit down with actor and community servant Jose Santiago Jr. But before we get into that, a word from our sponsors. This episode of the Indie Center podcast is brought to you by Spotify, the place where you can listen to your favorite artists and podcasts for free. Did you hear me? You don't even need a premium membership. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcast so you never miss an episode. Are you subscribed to me yet? Wink, wink. Premium users can download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, and that is so convenient. How many times have you found yourself in an airplane or driving down a road with no reception and you just want to escape but can't? You are stuck sitting next to somebody that snores, or you're stuck in a meaningless conversation and you just want to listen to podcasts. Well, now you can, guys. And you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to download the Spotify app and search for Indie Center Podcast on Spotify, or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. Also, make sure to follow me so you never miss an episode. We are here with Jose Santiago Jr. He is an actor, a community servant, and a wonderful guy, man. He's awesome. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on your ranch.
Oh, man. Thanks for coming out. I know it's a drive, but
it's a drive, but it's beautiful.
It's peaceful, isn't it?
God, just to paint the whole thing for the podcast world, I am sitting on a ranch in Indiana. It's beautiful. It's spacious. It's everything my wife wants it to be. And
you can have it. You can have it.
It's beautiful, man. I'm gonna have to. So I wanted to get into your backstory, man, because you were telling me a little bit off air, and I had goosebumps. I already told you. So how did you get into film?
All right. I believe it was in 2012. Yeah, it was in 2012. Okay. I had just quit working for the Union Pacific Railroad. I was working for them for a couple years, and rewind, before that, I was actually a chef for 14 years.
Oh.
So.
You went to school for that?
Yeah, went to culinary school. I went out to New York and worked under Jacques Pepin and Jacques Torres. Okay. The French master chefs. And I had a very, lucrative career as a chef. I loved it. I loved what I did. But it all changed when my daughter was around 18. Okay. And I came home and she's like, "Hey, Dad, are you going to make it to my graduation?" And I said, "What?" And I thought maybe graduating a little elementary school. Yeah. My daughter was 4 years old when I started my chefing career. Uh-huh. And she's talking about high school.
And you missed all that.
14 years. 14 years of her life. My son is two years younger, 12 years of his. Okay. My other son is a year younger, so 11 years of his. And then the baby. Okay. Gordy, the one who actually works for me now, my 19-year-old who works for Santiago Construction. Okay. So we're back then right now, and it was an eye-opener because not only was she getting ready to graduate high school, my little girl was pregnant.
And you didn't know?
And I didn't know. That's how much time and energy I spent in the kitchen as a chef and as an executive chef. I was running 3 big steak and seafood houses, restaurants. So there was no time there was never a Christmas for the kids with me. There was never a Thanksgiving. There was never a New Year's. Every holiday I was at work. And with that kind of career, you're there 6-7 days a week sometimes, and you're there 12, 14-hour days.
Wow.
So to look back and see that I gave them a great life. They had everything they wanted, beautiful houses we lived in. But the only thing they wanted was their dad. He wasn't there.
And that's something you can't buy.
You can't get it back. I don't care how much money you got in the world. I don't care how much you go to church and you beg God or whoever. You're never going to get those 14 years back. And those kids grew up with a dad, but daddy wasn't there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the wake-up call for me. So I went into work the next day and I resigned. And I said, I'll never put my kids through that again. So my marriage was already on my marriage was over. My first marriage was over. And that was fine. It was better for us not to be together. I wasn't in love with her. I loved her for having the kids. I loved her for being the mother of my kids. Yeah. Wasn't in love with the woman. So it was better for us just to not be together. Her go her way, and me go my way, But then we fast forward a year later, and I end up getting a job at the railroad, which I'm really happy about, great benefits and blah, 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 all retirement. And that's what everybody looks for today. So I went to the railroad. I told them, okay, I want to work in the yard, the Joliet yard.
That's such a opposite. Like you went from a chef to a railroad. Okay, that's an opposite direction.
I was a conductor, and I was getting ready to get my engineer's license. But they threw me on the road. And when I'm on the road, I slept in my bed maybe 3 times a month. So now I wasn't even home at all. And I got a grandbaby on the way. My sons are following my daughter right behind her, getting ready to graduate high school. And I'm going to miss their graduations. So I said, you know what? I worked the railroad 3 years. They laid us off for like almost 9 months, which was the best 9 months of my life because I spent all the time at home with the kids.
Yeah.
And then I get a call in the middle of something like, okay, you're ready to come back to work. I said, no, I'm not. I asked you guys not to do that. And I asked you not to leave me on the road, put me in the yard so I can go home every day. And again, I was away for the holidays. I got stuck out in Iowa for 2 days at, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, blah, 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 whatever. So I quit.
Yeah.
And now I'm unemployed. And now I'm like, okay. And because of my history with, growing up in the streets and the gangs and stuff like that, dealing drugs, I didn't have a really good record. Couldn't get a really good job. So I had to take whatever I could get. And thought about it. So I said, okay, I'm going to figure something out. And I was unemployed for the 9 months, but I was getting unemployment from the railroad, my pension. And stumbled across an armed bank robbery one day going to my mom's house to help her. My dad was in Puerto Rico. His stepfather was dying, so he was out there. My mom was at home. She called me up. She said she needed some help. So I'm on my way over there, and I stumble upon BMO Harris Bank getting robbed in Hammond, Indiana.
You went inside the bank, or was it happening?
No, it already happened. The robbery already happened. Yeah. They were on their way out. They came out, guns blazing, shooting up the cop car, the whole SUV. They loaded it up. And unfortunately, they hit the cop 3 times in his leg. So he's down on the ground, bleeding out. Everybody around him is just looking like idiots with their cell phones, taking a video or going live on something. I'm like, help this guy. He's bleeding. So I jump out of my truck from across the street, run across the street, go help him out. And one of these guys came back to finish him off. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know. They had the money. They were gone. One of them came back and then shot again at him, but didn't realize that I was down there kneeling down trying to help the guy. So I took it as he shot at me. And then that's a big no-no from where I'm from. I'm from the streets.
Yeah.
You shoot at me, you better hit, because if you don't, I'm going to come after you. And I did. I chased him down. And I chased him down until he jumped over a fence. Then I went back to my truck, which they never seen it, because it was across the street. I jumped in my truck, went down the same road, and people were like, how did you know? How could you know? And I always, it's sad to say, but in order to catch a criminal, you've had to have been a criminal.
Yeah.
You would have to think and know and act like a criminal. That just doesn't come to anybody. You had to have been one. So I knew they were on the other side of that driveway, the alley. So I kind of figured, okay, let me go check it out. And there they were, getting into the Cadillac, and they were just cruising down the road. The cops were flying down the street, and they were right past them. They didn't even know. They don't know anything about these guys. All they know is there's an officer down, and they're all heading to the bank.
Yeah.
But these guys are just cruising right past the cops. And I'm on the dispatch, like telling them, turn around, you idiots. They're right in front of me. I'm in a big gray truck. There's 2 guys in a black Cadillac, all tinted out. Those are the guys who robbed the bank. They telling me to back off, back off. I said, no, back off my ass. They shot at me.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. I'm going after these guys. So I went after them. As soon as they turned the corner, I hit the back of their vehicle and spun them out. Next thing you know, the cops came, surrounded my vehicle, surrounded their vehicle. They got away for about a mile and a half, and then they got caught. And I was all over the news. I was being interrogated because of my history.
So they thought you had.
They thought I was involved in it, and I was probably getting cut out of the deal. So that's why So it was just a big mess. And then I was finally released by the Hammond Police Department. And next thing you know, about 2 weeks later, my phone's ringing from Joan Philo Casting for extras on Chicago Fire.
And you never submitted?
I never submitted myself. I didn't even know what the hell Chicago Fire was. I'm like, I don't play soccer. And everybody's like, no, it's a TV show. I said, I never watch TV. I don't watch TV. I don't have time.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, maybe you want to come out and, hang out on the set with, this and this and that.
How did it get to Joan Philo?
I have no idea. I think my cousin Lisa.
Okay.
I think she said something. Because my family was kind of proud at that time of what I had done.
That is amazing.
Because of all my history,
I
finally gave them something to be proud about and say my name. My name was kind of like voodoo. It was like Candyman. You didn't say my name around the family because no one really cared. Yeah. No one liked it. No one liked me. And I get it. I put myself in that position. I came from a great family. I chose the streets. The streets didn't choose me. Yeah. So, I mean, I got to get that out there first because people's like, oh, he's from the street. No, the streets didn't choose me. Yeah. I chose that life. And that was a life that if I could go back and change anything, I wouldn't have spent 25 years in that life.
What made you choose it?
I came from hardworking parents. We didn't have a lot of money. My mom and dad did the best they could for us. But I always had bigger dreams and aspirations and goals. So I wanted more. And I was raised that if you don't work for it, you ain't gonna get it. Mm-hmm. So I did whatever I had to do to get it, which was going out in the streets and hustling and selling dope. It taught me a lot. It taught me the street game and street life and everything else and knowledge. But you know what? It didn't teach me. Consciousness, because when you're out in the street, you don't have a conscience. Yeah, it's either you or me. And I lived like that for years. And when I finally started to sit back and look back and realize, man, the people I hurt, the families that I hurt, that's unforgivable. I mean, to me, somebody hurt me like that, that'd be unforgivable. Yeah, But I did. When I did start to change my life around after I got on TV and started seeing things go into a different era. And a venue for me. I'm like, man, let me just, I got to make amends. I got to apologize to a lot of people, starting with my family, my mom and dad, because that hurt them the most. My kids, forget about it. I apologize to them. I think I still apologize to them to today. But those are my kids. They love me, whatever. They don't. I get it. Yeah. I get it. When you're not around, dude. I get that they don't need a dad. They're grown. Yeah. But. As you can see, whenever I'm doing the videos, the grandkids are here. My kids are around. We're starting to get the relationship back, and I'm honored and blessed to have that.
That's a blessing.
I'm humbled. Yeah. But I had to go back and I had to go back and see some of these people that I hurt them or hurt their families, and I asked for forgiveness. A lot of them did forgive. A lot of them just said, you have to live with that the rest of your life. And yeah, I do. I will. I get it. I have to live with it. I know, but you also do too. And I want to let you know that I am so sorry for whatever pain or suffering I've caused you or your family. And one family didn't take it too lightly. Yeah. And I didn't get pretty much off the front porch before the cousins and the brothers came out and beat me down, But I earned that beating. I had that coming. I had that coming from 15 years. So, but after all that was said and done, I figured if I can go through hell like that and walk away, then nothing's going to stop me from doing what I want to do or achieving any kind of goal that I set myself to achieve or set up for myself to aim for. If you don't have any goals, and that's the thing, man, it's really important to have goals. And a lot of people don't see it that way. But if you have goals, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Only
especially if you stick to it. You can. Anybody can have goals.
Yeah.
But
If you stick with your goals, you're going to achieve, a lot of things. You're going to achieve self-pride.
Yeah.
Okay. Self-love. First of all, you got to love yourself. I didn't love myself for a long time. I was praying for the day for somebody to come and blow my brains out so my life would end, because I was tired of living that life.
Yeah.
And now I look back, I was like, man, I'm glad nobody did, because of all the car accidents and the shootings and whatever that I was involved in. I should not be here doing the things that I'm doing. I should be either in prison for the rest of my life or dead. But I guess there was a better plan. There was something different. And I think that armed bank robbery was the turning point. And I know it was. It was a turning point in my life that I had to turn things around and live right and do right by myself and my family.
And like you said, in order to catch a criminal, you have to think like one.
Right.
So if you weren't in that street life,
I would have never known what they were going to do.
Exactly.
I would have never known which route they were going to take or how. Because they did it in my hometown. It's not my hometown. It's my parents' hometown right now. Because we're all from East Chicago. It happened in Hammond, Indiana, which is still our hometown. But I know the quickest exits. I know the quickest routes to the highways. I know the back roads. I know the alleys. So they weren't going to get away from me. They would have gotten away from the police.
Yeah.
And I'm actually doing a deck right now for the ex-chief of police at Hammond, the man who you just saw the award.
Yeah.
The one who gave me that award. And when he saw it was me, he gave me the biggest hug I've gotten in a long time. He's like, because of you, those two guys are in prison and that cop's living. You're always going to be a hero in my eyes, no matter what your record said.
Yeah.
He goes, and by the way, how's that working out for you? I said, it just, for some reason, everything was gone.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the least we could do for you.
That is awesome.
So clean slate. I started off with a clean slate after that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not all heroes wear capes, man.
Nah.
I commend you for that.
Everybody says, "Oh, yeah, that was a hero." I said, "No, I was an idiot." Because if I had a chance to do it again, I probably would, because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I love people, man, and I love human life, and I just believe everybody can change.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a chance. These kids, they need a chance. Criminals need a chance.
Yeah.
I get it. They did some bad stuff in their life. I did too. But if everybody kept looking at me like that, I would never be where I'm at today.
And if everybody deserves a second chance, but everybody needs
to earn
will to change.
Right.
All right. Because anybody could change, but unless you want it for yourself, you will not change.
Absolutely. You gotta want to change. It's like getting up in the morning and looking in the mirror. For years, I didn't look in the mirror because I didn't like what I saw.
Your reflection.
I didn't like who was in the mirror.
Yeah.
I know that guy. He's a gangbanger, a drug dealer, killer, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't look in mirrors. I didn't have to look in mirrors. I know what I looked like.
Yeah.
When I was single and I would date people, they were like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I would make up something.
Yeah.
I would say, "I'm still a chef." I mean, who's gonna go home and tell their mom and dad they're dating a drug dealer?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, you're a drug dealer. You're lower than a worm.
Yeah.
You're lower than a piece of gum under somebody's shoe.
Yeah.
It's not something you're proud of, that you go and announce to everybody. So, that was a turning point. And it's just, like I said, you got to love yourself. You got to want to make the change. It's hard. It gets really hard, especially when you had the people coming back. Come on, man. The game ain't the same. Yeah, it ain't the same because you guys are killing each other. When I was growing up and I was in the game, we had loyalty. We had honor and respect. You didn't take out the boss because you wanted to be the boss. You didn't take out the boss's right-hand man because you wanted to be the right-hand man. You stayed in your lane.
Yeah.
If you wanted to start your own crew, you go start your own crew. But you don't try to take over the crew that put you on. And today, that's not the case. My best friend, I'm the man. And then his best friend shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah,
now he's the man.
Now he's the man.
See, it's gotten sickening. This whole world has gone, I hate to say it, but it's gone batshit.
It is, and I'm gonna piggyback off what you said in the beginning, where everybody was pulling out their phones.
Yeah.
When the police got shot and he was coming back, instead of helping or dialing 911, they were recording that shit.
They were recording it
that is
and loving
ridiculous.
it. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's not a game
this guy's
show.
dying here.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just the state of mind of people that they live in this world today.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody wants to work hard for anything.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it given to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody wants to earn anything. They are entitled to it. Mm-hmm. My kids, you see this ranch? This is 10 acres. Uh-huh. This is mine. When I die, if I decide I'm going to leave it to you, you get it. If I decide to sell it before I die, you get shit. Yeah. You're not entitled to anything. The thing is with these kids today, they're entitled to everything. Oh, my mom and dad own this. And my mom, yeah, your mom and dad own that. And like my kids, oh, you got money. You're right. I got money. You ain't got shit. You're broke.
That's what you know what? My daughter's too young for me to instill that in her, but I tell her that all the time. We go to places and she's like, buy this for me, or I want to go to Disney. Yeah. Yeah. I do too, but we're not going. But you have money. I don't care if I have money. I worked hard for this money.
Just to throw it away.
Yeah.
You know, and Disney's no joke. That's for $10,000 to go see what, a couple rats? I'm good. Come out here to my ranch. You see all kind of field mice. Call them Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, whatever you want to call them.
Next time she says, let's go to Disneyland, I'm going to bring
her out here to the ranch. We'll go back there by the fire pit and
pop out a couple balloons and here you go, baby. We're here.
We're here.
Exactly that mindset. It's like
entitlement. It's entitlement. When you took away discipline from the teachers and then the principals and the schools and the parents, they started doing this 20 years ago. I don't know if you remember, because I'm 45, so 20 years ago I was 25. Uh-huh. They started doing this crap 20 years ago, where they took out Pledge of Allegiance out of the school.
Yeah.
Took out prayer in the school.
Yeah.
It took out discipline. It took discipline away from the teachers and the principals and the deans. You cannot hit the kids no more. Then they took away the discipline from home. Oh, if your parents hit you, call 911. It's child abuse.
Mm-hmm. DCFS.
So good. So they did all that 25 years ago. 25 years ago, they started their little witch hunt, the government.
Yeah.
And here we are today. And you fucks can't control anybody. Nope. These kids are out there killing each other. They're shooting up their teachers. They're shooting up the schools. Thank you for taking away discipline. You know why I didn't shoot up schools when I was a kid? Because I got my ass whipped with my dad. Mm-hmm. If I even would have thought about shooting somebody when I was a kid, I would get lit up by my dad. Or the principals, or the teachers, or get expelled. No. And there's no child left behind crap. What kind of shit is that? That means he can't even say his ABCs, but we're putting him in second grade.
Yeah.
He can't even multiply, but he's graduating high school.
Yeah.
We're raising a bunch of idiots, mutants.
Raising idiots and putting them in the workforce, and it's just ridiculous.
And then all this protest. Oh, I'm getting paid. When the hell did you start getting paid to protest? They can go protest, and their job has to pay them. I didn't realize that. It's a new law. That's their right to protest. So if someone wants to go protest, they still get paid. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, up is down, left is right is left. Everything's backwards in this world now, and people don't get it. And I'm like, it's these, and it's not all the millennials, but it's the majority of them.
Yeah.
They think that they got to come out of high school or college making 150 grand a year. You know how long it took me to make 120,000 a year?
Yeah.
30 years of my life. They want to come out of school making that. I'm like, that's entitlement. Yeah. You're entitled to shit.
Yeah.
You know, you go become a doctor or a lawyer and make that kind of money, but they just want to come out of school and get a job and make $120,000 a year. Exactly. Because that's the cost of living. The government is constantly raising the property taxes and the cost of living for everybody, but you're not raising wages.
No.
We're the lowest paid country in a lot of countries. We are for being as industrial as we are with the steel and the manufacturers, and man, our people are just getting crapped on. I mean, we're just getting shit on.
But this is the greatest place to live.
But it is the greatest place to live. Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think about giving up citizenship and going to Canada. Or, I don't know, become an Ecuadorian or something. I don't know, man. It might be easier.
Become an Ecuadorian.
Yeah, you know? Because it's crazy.
Oh my God! So we veered off. So you got the call from Joan Philo to go on set. How was that experience?
That was crazy because my first day on there, when I got to the office to CineSpace, and I actually met Joan Philo. She pulled me aside. She was like, "You're Jose Santiago." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "It's an honor to meet you." And I'm like thinking to myself, like, who is this lady?
And why is she?
And why is she like honored to meet me? The story was out already all over the news, on the papers. Yeah, so I mean, Joan took me out, And like I said, I just thank her and Kim for that. I mean, it's very. After all that, my career has been very lucrative, and my outlook on life has been amazing. Mm-hmm. I never thought about being an actor or anything like that, or I did drama in school, but I mean, I didn't think it was going to ever take off to do what I'm doing.
You had drama in school, and you had drama in real life.
Right. I had drama in high school.
Translating to film.
A lot of drama in real life.
Yeah.
But she took me to the set, which was the actual set inside of the fire station. Uh-huh. And when we got there, she introduced me to the actual cast. Taylor Kenny, Jesse Spencer, all of them.
Joe Minoso.
Joe Minoso, all of them. The original cast of Chicago Fire, the first season 1. Or season 1. They already had a couple episodes. Introduced me to these guys, and they were so caring and welcoming. They were like, dude, you're a real life hero. And I'm like, no. I said, no.
And they knew.
Yeah, I'm like, no. And like, we heard all about you. The director was, I don't want to get his name wrong. Tom DeCilio. Okay. Now, Tom, mind you, is a long-haired guy, just kind of hippie-looking guy. Plays in a band, and he's a real quiet guy. He came over. He said, you must be the hero. And I said, no, these guys are. They're like, no, we play heroes on TV. You're a real life hero. And I was just an extra background guy at the time, walking around aimlessly. So Tom DeCilio came up to me and shook my hand. And he says, I'm going to keep my eyes on you. And I said, okay. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. I don't know anything.
It's the first thing I said.
So first thing I said, he's like, well, just stand here. And then when I look at you, after they do their whatever lines, I give you the cue. You get up and you walk across. I said, okay, well, that's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. For $110, I didn't know I was gonna walk 110 times, for that $110. But Tom did that, and we had a good time, man. And it wasn't even the 4th or 5th time on set. He told me, that's it. Take this guy out and put him in a firefighter's uniform. And I'm like, I'm not a firefighter.
Yeah.
He goes, it's my show. You are today. So I got bumped up from just an extra to a firefighter, which is like $225 a day or something.
You got paid as a legitimate firefighter, $225.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And that was just an extra firefighter. And so I got that. And then I was always with the cast and crew. And then Tom was like, you know what? We're gonna feature him. And he's like, do you have an agent? I said, no, I didn't know anything about agent. I don't know anything about this crap. I thought it was just.
And this is within your 5th time?
This is like my 5th or 6th time on set.
Wow.
And he's like, he goes, you need to find an agent. He goes, I'm gonna put you as a feature. He goes, get him another bump. So then that was like $275 or $250. I don't know what it was.
The pay structure is different from BG to firefighter BG.
Right, BG to
and if you're a
firefighter BG to featured firefighter.
Yeah.
It just, everything changes. And I'm like, I didn't know all this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got a job at the steel mill, and Chicago Fire wanted me on set like 4 times a week.
Oh, so you were core.
So I'm like, oh man. And I'm just featured firefighter, but I was in all the scenes with the major scenes.
You were core, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so, I got this job at the mill. I'm making $110,000 a year. And it was interfering with the acting because I was at the mill for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then we have 2 days off.
7 days a week?
We were on 7/12s for 2 years.
That's how you make $120,000.
Yeah, you live there. And then when I'm on set for the Chicago Fire, I was on set for 10 or 12, 15 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I worked myself because I wanted to really do the acting.
Yeah.
I just got a love for it.
You got the acting.
It wasn't even like, oh, it's a craft. Because I hate when people say, work on your craft. What is it, a hobby?
Yeah.
Because that's what a craft is. To me, a craft is, I do birdhouses. That's my craft. Well, it's a fucking hobby. Let's call it what it is. It's a hobby. How do you make a living?
Yeah.
You must be one hobbying some bitch because you make a lot of money on some birdhouses to afford everything you afford.
Oh,
no, don't call it a craft.
Yeah.
This is my career.
Yeah.
This is my passion. I love passion. I love career. I hate craft. And Chicago uses craft all the time. Oh, it's just upping your craft, working on your craft. You know what? It might be a craft is a hobby. So it might be a hobby to you, but it's something that I want to make a living at.
Yeah.
And I started seeing this. So I was at work one night, and I had to be in Chicago at 4 a.m. On set. And it was 12:30 at night on my shift, my 7 at night to 7 in the morning shift. The guy that was supposed to come in and cover for me didn't have showed up. So I told my supervisor, hey, I got to be on set in Chicago for Chicago Fire. And I can't remember his name. Steed was his last name. Dan Steed. Don or Dan Steed told me to my face, well, you need to make a choice. Either your little hobby or your career. I took my badge, threw it at him. I said, this is my hobby. And I walked out that night. Made it to set, worked all day, came home, and told my wife that I just quit a $120,000 a year job.
How was that conversation like?
She said, why? I said, something told me to do it. I asked God for a sign.
And Dan Steed was my sign.
And Dan Steed was the sign. He came up to me and he gave me an ultimatum. One thing I do not live by are ultimatums. My dad gave me ultimatums when I was a kid. You know, you do like this or this is going to happen. Do like this or this. I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I don't like ultimatums. And when you're going to give me an ultimatum, like, ultimatums for bullies. I don't like bullies. By the way, I saw The Joker last night.
I heard your wife told me.
Loved it.
Your wife told me she
loved it. Loved it. Everybody out there complaining about this movie or their kids, go screw yourselves. Your kids are bullies, and you don't want your bullies to get killed. So teach your kids a lesson to be nice to everybody.
I'm gonna watch that movie.
Oh, it was amazing.
I want to watch it. I hear so many good things about it.
Joaquin Phoenix was amazing, and we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
So I get back home, and now I'm out of work. But I'm working every day on Chicago Fire.
Yeah, you're not out of work. You're just out of consistency.
I'm out of $110,000 a year work.
Yeah.
And I'm making $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
You know, or $1,000 or $2,000 a month. That's all I'm making versus $8,000 a month, $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard on her. It was hard on us, but you know what? We pulled through. Then I went into the transition of having to become SAG-AFTRA. Because of the projects that I did previously, I was already credited, and then when I got my actual first speaking role on Chicago Fire, the director was Tom DeCilio. He was in my audition, and when he saw me, he looked at me when I played Steve, and he's like, "You were background. I remember." And I hadn't seen Steve in 2 years. I haven't seen Tom in 2 years.
Did he still have that hair?
He still had the hair. Still smooth cat. You know, and when I walked into the audition room, I recognized Tom right away because he's just got a distinguished look. And Simon Casting was there, Clark Simon was there. And he's like, looking at me, he's like, oh, okay. And kind of leaned over to her and said something. And he's like, go ahead. So I did my whole scene. He's like, can you sit down and do it? Because I was standing up and did it. I did it, you know. He liked it. Sit down. So I did it, sitting down. And he asked me questions about why I reacted the way I reacted during the scene. It's because, you know, you kind of got a lot of people around me, and it's kind of a guy thing, and you know, he's supposed to be macho. He's got his leg pinned under a thing. He's trying to be macho about it, but he's really in pain. Yeah. But he's not going to tell anybody he's in pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So then when we left, he's like, you know, when he came out there, he's like, you went from background to featured to talent. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you got it. He goes, I'll see you on set. Let your agent tell you that. Because I'm
left the audition with that.
From him.
Ooh.
So there was nobody, I don't care who came in there. He gave it to me.
Man.
And when we worked together that day, that guy was on me, pushing me. I mean, it was hot. It was 96 degrees. I'm out in the blistering sun, laying on hot concrete, half naked with everything was open in the back, but I was closed.
Yeah.
And he was just, get him an umbrella, cover him, get him water. I mean, the guy was just like, and I was on the ground for 14 hours that day on set.
You said this was PD?
This is Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire.
When they amputated my leg. Oh. And after I came after they put me in the ambulance and everything, he said, cut. That's a wrap, and they opened up the doors. All the firefighters came out. They were all in a line when I walked out of the ambulance, shaking my hand, clapping, congratulating me. And then he was there. He just gave me another big ass hug, and I was just like, dude.
They were there from day one.
They were there from day one when I was a nobody.
Man.
You know, when I was an unknown, and here I am, part of the cast and crew, and it took off from there. But you know, unfortunately, when you do stuff like that with Chicago, you can't be on the shows, especially when you're like a scene like that. They cut off my leg.
What is it, like twice a year? What's the?
It was my original contract for Steve was 4. I couldn't be seen for 4 years.
Oh.
So how do you work?
God.
Think about it. I made good money for that one episode, but now the rest of the year,
that's it. For
I'm
that
done.
show.
For any of the Chicago TV shows.
Oh, because they cross over.
I can't be seen.
No way.
And Empire, it's a majority blacks and whites. There's hardly any Latinos in there. And the Latinos they do have, they're gay, and I'm not doing that.
That's another fight.
That's a whole other, that's a whole other ballgame. I don't play the gay Latino role. I don't even look gay. I know I don't sound gay, but you know, I just won't do it. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea, you know? And I tell people, there's 100,000 Latinos that are actually gay out there that look just like me. Why are you trying to make me the straight guy be the gay guy and the gay guy be the straight guy? Let's stop doing that crisscrossing stuff.
Who knows, man? Put some booty shorts on. Let's see how that works.
Yeah. Oh, maybe now I will. I got a pretty good looking body now.
Oh man, talk about full circle, man. How was that feeling?
It was when I got the role, I came home and told the wife, I said, you know, I got my first speaking role. And she's like, really? On what film? I said, it's not even a film. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, which one? I said, the same one I got the first background role on, Chicago Fire. And it was just a full circle. People were like,
beautiful.
Dude, that's a sign. You should just do this, you know? And I'm like, yeah. So I started doing independent work. I worked with Raul Colon and Enrique Guzman. Yeah. We did a movie called The Land. And I hope if Raul's listening, we get the land back. Stop messing around. I ain't got time for you Hollywood and Florida BS. Let's go, boy. Nah, Raul was a great guy. He was a young director at the time. He was very, very, very new.
Yeah.
And he had I loved his vision. Don't get me wrong. I saw a couple of his little things that he did with Enrique, and I loved his vision.
Good work.
I loved his work. I loved his camera, his eye. He's got an amazing eye for things. But what he had was a temper too, and he had to learn to control that.
Puerto Rican temper.
Yeah. Well, you know, in this business, you know, you gotta be smooth, man. Yeah. You know, you can be the hardest, baddest director out there, but you gotta be smooth about it. Yeah. Raul was just raw.
Yeah.
You know, he's from Chicago, he's raw, like everybody, you know. So we were all raw, but you know, everybody bumped heads. But you know what? The thing is, working with Raul was good. I had fun because it was Enrique was involved, and we were all together.
And that was your first indie?
That was our first indie film, The Land. Then I got cast as Diablo on the indie TV series No Chirac.
Okay.
Which has a full season, 12 episodes. And it's on the indie app in Indie Network or something. I don't know. Whatever. But I did that for almost the summer and fall to film 12 episodes. And that's an amazing project. It was an amazing project, but it never went anywhere.
Except that indie app.
Except for the indie app. So if they want to watch it, they got to download the indie app, and they can watch the full season of No Chirac, all 12 episodes.
But there's no it's just called the indie app, or?
Actually, I'm sorry. Nope, I'm lying. It's on Tubi TV now.
Tubi TV.
That new app.
Okay.
Like Hulu, Vudu, and all the other ones.
Yeah.
It's called Tubi. T-U-B-I.
Okay.
Yeah.
T-U-B-I.
Another app. So they got it on there too. It's a shared app now. So that's on there. Right after Chicago Fire, I got cast for Sinister 2, the horror movie.
Yeah.
As a dentist. I'm a horror film freak. I love it. I love everything. If it scares you, I love it. I mean, I don't jump. Nothing scares me. I've been through a lot, so nothing scares me.
Well, yeah, you were shot at, and you chased the guy that shot you.
So, I mean, I love watching the fear in people's eyes. And when I first saw this movie, I can pretty much pick out what's going to happen in a horror movie at the beginning of the movie. At the very beginning. I could not put my hands on this stupid Sinister movie. I just couldn't. I'm like, who the hell is recording this? Who's doing this? Because he's in the picture.
Yeah.
They got this guy in the picture, you know? I'm like, how the hell is he recording? Has he got magic? And at the end, I find out the whole time it was the kid. I'm like, oh, that blew me away. The first one blew me away. So I was like, when I saw that they were filming in Chicago and they were auditioning, I ran to that audition.
Yeah.
And Ciaran Froy who was the director, Blumhouse Productions.
Okay.
The minute I walked in the room, he's like, all right, just do this real quick. And I did it. He's like, whoa, do it again. Well, and then he's like, that was an amazing day on set.
I mean, audition. You said this is audition?
That's the audition. That's the audition.
Uh-huh. And he said, whoa, during the audition?
Yeah. And then he's like, he's the one.
Great poker face. That's like, you're not supposed to tell the talent right then and there.
Yeah, because
he got it.
I heard what was going on in the room because we were all outside the room.
Yeah.
And you got to scream. You got to, like, you're in pain.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had a lot of guys and like, whatever. I don't know, whatever it sounded like.
Did you scream like a gay guy or how did you?
Oh, it was, I could have hit the
high note?
Yeah, I could have hit the high note. Like I got kicked in the nuts or something, you know? But, no, it was just like, he's okay, here's a scene, you're strapped to a chair, and your mouth is barricaded open because you have the old pry bar from the old dentist. This is a 60s or 70s dentist, or whatever, and you're getting drilled with a drill. Go. That's all he said. Give me that pain. So when I did it, he was just like, do that again. And then I did it again, and he's like, whoa. And he's like, okay, thank you. And that was it. I got the call the same night.
Wow.
That was me. It was me. I was the dentist's dad.
Well, I mean, you're outside of the audition room hearing everybody else's screams,
right.
So you're like, all right, that one.
And not knowing what was said in there until I heard it from my own ears, what the scream was about, and how to deliver it.
Really? You went to the audition not knowing anything about the scene? Mm-mm. Really?
I went to the audition just trying to get on the show, just trying to get on the movie because I love Sinister.
They don't give you sides or anything? They didn't give you a
nope.
side for that one?
It was just a walk-in.
Oh wow!
And
a blind read.
Listen to what he tells you to do and do it. So I did it and I got it. And when we were on set, I met the actor who plays Bagul. It was just a great time, man. The kids were actually Haley, the one who plays the little girl who goes, shh, her face is all cracked with the little knitted cap. She's actually with me this weekend coming up at the horror convention down in Champaign.
Oh, nice.
Where we're signing autographs for Sinister 2, No Chirac, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, because...
Where is this at so that way you can plug it up?
It is at the, hang on, let me look. I know it's in Champaign, Illinois. It is here it is. Dark History Horror Convention, Champaign, Illinois. And it's at the City Center at Fat City. 503 South Chestnut Street. From Saturday, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. October 26th to 7th.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'll be there signing autographs, taking pictures. I've done this last year, and it was a really good one. This year, it's now that I know what I'm doing a little bit. I got pretty much a better setup, and then next year I am also partnered with Fright Fest.
Okay.
For Fort Wayne, the big one.
Okay.
Where there's like almost 37,000 people that walk through that convention center. It's at the convention center in Fort Wayne. Nice. Right downtown in Fort Wayne, we have everybody from Robert Lasardo from The Mule, from Clint Eastwood, who's a really good friend of mine. We have booths next to each other this year. We got booths next year together. We're trying to get John Bernthal, the Punisher. I mean, there's tons of celebrities. Kane Hodder, Jason, the original Jason's going to be there. I mean, everybody's going to be there. Okay. So, I mean, the Fright Fest next year, 2020, is going to be
ridiculous.
It's going to be sick.
That is awesome.
It's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's only a couple hours away from Chicago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Champagne's 4 or 5 hours away. I think Fort Wayne's maybe 2 or 3. But, I mean, it's going to be a good time too, man. And I'm honored to be asked to be as a celebrity guest there.
That's awesome.
You know, and all because of that Sinister 2 movie.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was like a dream, and I got it. After the Sinister 2 is when I started dipping into the other independent movies. And I had a commercial, Hellman's commercial, mayonnaise commercial, Raoul, No Chirac, and just a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But, you know, it hasn't been easy. Like I tell everybody, it's not guaranteed you're going to make it. You're only going to make it if you want to.
Yeah.
You know, if you're waiting for if you're waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
Keep waiting.
It's never going to come.
Keep waiting. You know what? Go get a job.
Yeah.
Go get a job. Because you have to be out there. You have to put yourself out there.
And you have to have thick skin to do that.
You're going to get, I mean, I get it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, ask Enrique. I get called all kind of names. And he always hits me up with a quick name when I do something. like whore or bitch or sissy boy or whatever he calls me. But because of people out there in Chicago are talking about me because of the things that I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But if those guys, those Latino actors out there are insecure about me because I'm whatever, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Enrique he's always got a one-liner, and it's always a text. Like as soon as he sees my post on Facebook, bitch,
you bitch,
nasty.
sissy.
Who do you think you are, sissy? I'm like, he goes, oh, you never guess who said it, bro. I'm like, how do you see that? And I don't see it. He's like this, because you're not friends with them. I'm like, oh. He goes, you probably blocked them years ago. So I see their response. I said, oh, okay. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But if you think it's easy, it's not. You will go. It's gonna test you. Yeah. It's gonna test your mindset. It's gonna test your ability to do things. It's definitely gonna test your nerves.
Yeah.
I wanted to give up a couple times.
Even at this stage.
Not now.
Not now.
Not right now.
In the beginning.
In the beginning I wanted to give up. Oh, you have no idea. We went through some hard times, the wife and I, because of it. And like I said, either it's gonna do it. I'm gonna do this, or I'm not. But I'm not gonna quit.
Yeah.
Because I don't quit. All right. Well, I mean, how do I look like as a quitter to my sons?
Yeah. What kind
to my grandkids?
Yeah.
Oh, you quit. No. So, to me, and here's the thing. And I hate to say, I love my family, but there are people in my family who always want me to fail because that's what I've always done in my life. I was a huge failure. Mm-hmm. I was a failure as a son.
So they're waiting for you to repeat it.
They're waiting for me to let history repeat itself so they can say, I told you.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that, and I won't. So I have to fight 10 times harder than the next guy. I have to aim 10 times harder to achieve my goals that are 100 times higher than the next guy. Because I cannot give anybody the satisfaction to say, I told you so.
So you went from Sinister 2 to a faith-based film, and I remember you posting that you've wanted this. You've always wanted to do a faith-based film.
Yes.
So I wanted you to touch base on that.
Well, coming into 2019, this year, I had goals. When I came back from LA, I had seen so much diversity in the movie and entertainment business for Latinos that I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm tired of the gangbanger. I am tired of the drug dealer. I'm tired of the cartel guy. What else can I do? And I'm damn sure not going to be nobody's gardener, because that's what they expect us Latinos to do in this industry. Yeah. Oh, you're the gardener, you're the drug dealer, you're the cartel, or you're the cook. You know what? No, there's Latinos, and there's to name a few of them. Asylum Morales is now playing, I believe, Deadshot or whatever. One of them. What's on the What universe is the CW? Is it the DC Comics with the Green Arrow and all that, or?
I think that's DC.
Okay, well, he's playing Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Okay. He got it on that new DC Universe app. He's Deathstroke. Here's Asylum Morales, a Latino. So I'm in LA and I'm seeing all the Latino work out there, and wondering why I can't have this work back here. Okay, so when I got back home, I said to myself, I'm done with Chicago. I'm done. Because it's just the same thing. Gangbanger, drug dealer, gay guy. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anymore. Stop stereotyping me. Okay? I don't have that in LA. I don't have those stereotypes in LA. So I had to go. I told my agent Viva, who I love and adore tremendously. She's been amazing. I thank God for her, because without her and her believing in me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. She's helped save a lot of things, for me. She's a fighter. So I told her this year, I am going to land a faith-based film. And she's like, really? Why do you want to do faith-based? And I said, there's something about I need to do it. Whether it's just a one-liner cameo or whatever, I need to do it for myself. I'm trying to go into, I want to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson of the faith-based films. That's what I want. Because we already got a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the Hollywood industry.
Yeah, in action.
I don't need that. I mean, I can't compete with Dwayne. You know, he's a great guy. You know, I watched him, I think I'm older than him, but I watched him when he came to the WWE and WWF when he was wrestling.
Yeah.
And he said it was, you know, it was hard for him to break. No, it wasn't. Because you were already an entertainer. You had millions of fans as The Rock, as a wrestler. Your transition into film was real easy. Because when you walked through the door, there wasn't 120,000 guys auditioning against you. You were given the script, come on in, see if you can do it, and then you already had a following. Today is all about the following. Your followers, your Instagram followers, social media followers. It's not about how much talent you got anymore. It's not about how much schooling you had in the arts and theater department, because the girl from Game of Thrones, okay. That she proved that. That girl, the lead girl, princess, white-haired girl, she was a YouTuber. She had 1 million followers. And she bragged about how she beat out A-list actresses for that role.
Really?
That's disgusting. It's sickening. Okay, I don't take nothing away from her.
Yeah.
I can see I saw a couple episodes in the first season, she really sucked. But she got better. Whatever. She's making her money, she better get better. But when she bragged about how she never had any schooling in the arts, and she beat out A-list actresses because she had 1 million followers on YouTube because she was a YouTuber, that kind of hits a real soft spot, you know? Because people are out here busting their butts, paying all this money for classes, improv, comedy, drama, blah, 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 writing classes, and she would just walk out because you got 1 million followers on YouTube because of some stupid videos you made. Come on. I mean, where are we going with this? I mean, where is the world going? Again, it's just backwards.
Yeah.
So Dwayne came in there and he did his thing, The Rock, and I'm pretty sure doors were just opening for him because he already had millions and millions of fans, followers. And he's a great guy. I ain't taking nothing away from him. That guy's he's probably got one of the biggest hearts in Hollywood. He does do tons of charity for veterans, people in the military, in the service department. I mean, just, man, the guy is just a great guy. Yeah, he is probably the hardest and most expensive working man in the business. But this guy gets up at 4:45 every morning, works out for 2 or 3 hours, goes on set for 12 to 15 hours, and does it every day.
Yeah.
You can't knock a guy like that. I can't wait for the day to meet him and work with the guy. You know, that's another goal. But my goal was for the faith-based film, and I wanted it, and I got it. You know, I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Nobody gave it to me. I had to go out and audition against a lot of other people for this faith, and I got the supporting role of Chief Baez, which I was the chief of police. Finally, a role where I wasn't the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I took to that. And then I got Johnny Marquez, which I had to go back to being the bad guy, Chicago PD. But that's okay. You know, that's okay. If that's what sells me, and that's my brand as the bad guy, every film has a villain. Doesn't care what it is. If it's a love story, there's a villain. If it's a horror movie, well, there's a lot of villains. Or drama, there's a villain. Yeah. So yeah, whatever that is. So I got the Johnny Marquez, which was a guest role. I got my faith-based film, and I had 3 of them: guest, supporting, faith-based. Well, I got 2 in 1. I got a supporting actor role in the faith-based film. So there's 2 knocked out there.
And how did that come across you? Like, did it just come across your desk and you're like, wow, I asked for this and it came true?
Yeah, no, my agent called me. She reminded me. I forgot about what I posted at the beginning of the year. That I had these 3 goals. I forgot about that because I have my business, I have my family, you know, the wife, the kids, the grandkids. That's my job. That's what I have to do as a man to take care of, or whatever. What I did in January when I got back from LA, or February when I got back from LA, or March. I don't forget what month it was. I made that list of my 3 things that I was going to do in 2019. All this happened in the April, May, and June. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And my agent's like, you called this. And I said, what? She goes, you saw this somewhere because you called it. And I said, what? She goes, and look. And she went back and she goes, I said, oh, wow, I didn't know that. And she goes, boy, you got something. She goes, I'm telling you, it's coming. Whatever it is, Jose, it's coming. And when it hits, it ain't going to be something small. It's going to be something big.
Yeah.
She goes, and I can sit back and take care of just you. I don't have to worry about the rest of the roster. She has people to do that. My main focus is going to be getting you work. She goes, because I see it coming for you. And that's how that happened. I mean, it just happened. I saw it. I asked for it. I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I received.
That's awesome, man. That's a blessing. So what's next for you? Because I'm seeing that you're working out every single day. Yeah. You talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Are you in an action movie soon or what?
Yeah, no, you know what? We have, I do have 2 films. We're getting ready to go into pre-production here. Actually, we're in pre-production. Mm-hmm. We will be going into production next year, 2020. Okay. There'll be 2 new films out with my partner Emilio in LA, a hell of a writer, hell of a director, and one hell of a friend. I mean, he's a brother. I mean, the guy, I met him and we clicked. We met through a mutual friend. And our mutual friend kind of went sideways on us.
Yeah.
But we never went sideways. And actually, he knew the mutual friend longer than he knew me. I knew the mutual friend longer than I knew him. Uh-huh. But me and him are still together. He wrote a movie called Joanna. It's a horror movie.
Okay.
So I play a pretty beefed up, stocky, muscular guy who's a nerd. Uh-huh.
You're playing the nerd?
I'm playing the nerd.
Okay.
So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm a computer geek.
Okay.
I honestly, I can't even. I can text, and I can post a video with a saying, but if you ask me to download a file and look at and send, dude, let me get somebody to do that. I can't. I'm computer illiterate. Okay. So I'm gonna be playing this computer geek on this movie. It's a horror movie. It's gonna be a great movie about a doll, a possessed doll from Mexico.
Okay.
The grandmother was bruja. She studied brujeria, which is witchcraft in English for you white people out there. So she studied. She practiced witchcraft, brujeria, and so her granddaughter was her life, and she didn't like people picking on her granddaughter. Her grandmother dies. Her grandmother's soul goes into the doll that the grandmother brought the granddaughter. And every catastrophe or something that was bad in Mexico, this doll was always in the picture somewhere.
Okay.
In the background picture. And it's like, this doll. Well, now this doll's in the United States. There's no rain out there. It's like a cow.
Yeah.
You give a cow 30 acres of field, and it's going to eat all 30 acres. Free range. Well, this doll was not supposed to leave the country of Mexico.
Okay.
It was contained. As long as it was in Mexico.
And now that it's here,
but when you bring it out of the States and you bring it to Tijuana, California, now we got issues. Now all of a sudden the murders and stuff are happening again. No one knows why. The granddaughter's an adult. She still has a doll.
And does she know about the backstory of the doll? Does she know?
I can't really say that.
Okay.
But whoever holds the doll, I mean, the doll takes over.
Yeah.
Then you do what the doll tells you to do. It's just it's crazy. It's gonna be a great horror film. We actually started off as a short. We were gonna do a short, but we got funded to do a feature film.
Oh, that's great.
So that's funded. We're good to go.
You starting in January?
Yeah, we started shooting in January. All the stills and everything. Just get everything ready for the big premiere.
Yeah.
And then we start filming.
And you guys are gonna release it in?
It's probably gonna be the summer. I told him let's maybe do it during the summer, but I think he wants to release it right before school starts, like August, September.
Okay.
So right before Halloween, the fall,
Yeah.
this movie comes out.
Yeah.
Because you really can't compete with a lot of Hollywood blockbusters
that come out
around Halloween.
Yeah.
You can't. But this one is going to be really good. It's a lot of gore. There's a lot of special effects. It's going to be really good. And it's like I said, it's a different role for me out of my comfort zone playing this guy. I don't know. The next one is The Ride, which we're like really happy right now. We've been working on this for almost 2 years. Emilio's been working on it for longer than that. He's been working on it longer than he's known me. And we've approached people. We've come up to people, asked them about their opinion to help us out. Let's get us off the ground. Let's shoot a trailer. Let's shoot whatever, some scenes to get it going. And a lot of people turned their backs on us and said, this ain't gonna go nowhere. Well, now we're kind of really stoked because the WB got involved. Warner Brothers Studio got involved.
Did you speak that into fruition, man? Did you speak that
into reality? Didn't. That one I didn't. That one I didn't see coming. He called me and he was really excited. He's like, check out the new logo. I said, I saw it earlier. He goes, yeah, you liked it, but did you see it? And I said, yeah, I saw it. The ride, 2020. Look in the background. And I saw the Warner Brothers hologram. I'm like, oh, man, this just went big. Yeah. Bigger than what we could ever afford to do. So now the phones are ringing. Everybody that turned their backs on us now, like, hey, what's up? What's going on?
That's a sweet feeling, isn't it? Like, the people that turned your back on you, now when they come back and see that you're doing something great with the product that you first initially, introduced to them?
We bought to them, asked them to help us get it out there and invest. That ain't going nowhere.
No.
Same guys are calling now. What's up? I said, I don't know. You tell me.
You ain't going nowhere. You're gonna stay right here. Just sit back and watch.
Absolutely.
So the last and final question that I have for you is, I see you serving your community a lot.
Yeah.
And you're actually doing the Frida Kahlo event coming with the Barbie doll.
Yes.
And then the giving back to East Chicago with the police department.
Right.
So what is the meaning of giving back? Why are you so hard on that?
I want to give back to a community that gave me so much. Mm-hmm. We grew up in East Chicago, and it was a beautiful time, man. Beautiful. Our neighbors watched us. Our parents watched their kids. We'd play out in the street till 3 or 4 in the morning, playing kick the can and hide and seek and monkey in the middle. It was a different time back then. It was different, And to see these kids cannot even be out past 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon without worrying about getting shot. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Something's not right. Someone's got to make a change. Someone's got to make a difference. Athletes for Charity, her name's Kathleen, and she reached out to me. And I'm not an athlete,
You're built like one.
Well, that's a lot of working out. That's for the action movie. Yeah. You know what? I think after I'm done with the action movie, I'm just going to keep continuing to work out, man, because it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
I look better, I feel better, and everything fits better. But Kathleen reached out to me and asked me, I know you're not an athlete, but you're an entertainer. Could you help your hometown? My hometown of East Chicago, Indiana. And I said, yeah, what's going on? What do you need me to do? Just show up. Show the kids that there's something more out there than what they're accustomed to in the streets. And I said, okay, you got it. So I showed up, and then we connected. Her and I connected really well. We got a really good bond. I know what she expects from me. She knows what I expect from her. And it goes both ways. So with that, she just wants to invite me to all the events in East Chicago. We got to give back to the kids. Here's a kid, and I was a kid too once, and I remember, if you don't work for it, you ain't going to get it. Mm-hmm. The problem with today's kids is they're giving everything and they don't earn shit. They don't earn it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem with these kids today. They're entitled. You're entitled to nothing but to live and die. That's your entitlement. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do in between those years, you have to earn.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you to earn it. So these programs we're doing, we are giving back by challenging the kids. There's a writing contest to see who writes the best essay or strip or script or whatever little things they're gonna do. And then there's the drawing, the competition, who's got the best. So, and these are for the girls. Mm-hmm. So these dolls are like $30 a piece, mm-hmm. or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Like $30 a piece, but it's a Latina doll, Frida.
My daughter's name, we actually named her after
right.
that.
So you know the history of the woman. She's a powerful woman, mm-hmm. a powerful Latina. So we are auctioning off the dolls to the public, but we're giving them away to the girls who earned that right to have that doll because they put the work in, they put the time and the effort, and they gave it their all. Everybody can write an essay, everybody can write a script, or everybody can put a strip down of something, but we have to be able to feel it. It's kind of like a journal, the kid's life. Somebody will draw something that's going on in their life at the time. Artists get their motivation from whatever events, tragedies, emotions, whatever. So same thing with writers and producers and directors. So when we feel that these kids just didn't write a blah, 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 blah. Okay, they put their heart and soul into that essay or strip or script, then good. That's the one who's gonna win the doll. This is all the girls. Then we got another program coming up for the boys where it's mentoring the boys into being men. Mm-hmm. You know, because today these boys are lost today. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them don't even know what the hell they are. But mentoring them into being men. You know, to be self-independent, not depend on a woman, not depend on your mom and your dad. To be a self-made, independent man in today's world. I mean, that's our goal. And there's so many kids. I didn't realize how much sexual abuse is going on back in my hometown right now.
It's disgusting.
And you would think it's with the girls. It's not. It's higher with the boys.
It's disgusting.
The boys are being sexually abused at home. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's just that. And so Athletes for Charities came up to me and asked me to join. I jumped right in. So for me to give back, it's kind of like the years I lost with my kids and I wasn't there. And they might have needed something, but I wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there. This is a way for me to ask for that forgiveness again by helping somebody else, because you never know if you help another kid.
Yeah.
You never know. I got an inbox one time after a live video. I make a bunch of them. You know that.
Yeah.
And I made a live video about suicide because I did try that. It didn't work out in my favor.
Really?
The gun jammed. I don't know how it jammed, but it was never jammed before.
Yeah.
But it did. And that's when I started turning my life around. But I made a video about people with mental illness and suicide and depression and stuff. I get it. I've been on all those roads. Mm-hmm. And I got an inbox from a lady that afternoon saying that my video that morning changed her life. She was going to end her life, but because of that video.
That's powerful.
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I didn't know.
Yeah.
What the hell do you say to somebody who just told you they were about to kill themselves, but because of your video changed her outlook that day? Yeah. Has she done it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think she has, because she's still on my page, liking my videos and my posts, my comments. So she didn't do it. But what did I say that day in that video to spark and change her mindset? She was ready to take her life.
Yeah.
And I was like...
It shows you the power.
I was like, oh my God. I said, what the hell did you say, stupid? Because, man, you need to go back and look at the video.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I mean, I was speaking from my heart. What I went through, and who it would have affected, who it would have damaged had I gone through with it, had the gun not jammed after I pulled the trigger.
The power of words, and that's the power of influence. And that's one thing that I think a lot of celebrities that are higher up, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that he understands the power of influence. You know, saying those positive words, positive messages, it changes lives.
It changes the whole mindset. And it changes a lot of things, you know. And bullying is one of the worst things I cannot stand. I heard all the negative feedback about this new movie, The Joker, that just came out. I heard all the positive feedback. Now, I'm the type of person, no matter what somebody tells me, I have to decide for myself. Just because you tell me that orange is orange, I got to open it up and let me see, because it could be tangerine, you know, or it could be green. So I had this. So I went to the movies last night to watch The Joker, And it was everything everyone said it was. Yes, it was dark. It was a little disturbing. But what I did not find, like other people were saying, that it should not be shown. First, it's not fit for children. First of all, you idiots, you freaking mutants out there. It says rated R. Under 18, not admitted. So if your dumbasses took your kids to go watch this movie,
that's on you.
That's on you. Mm-hmm. Hello? But, everybody was mad because of all the scenes that were put into this movie. I mean, this has been going on for years. Yeah. This movie was set back in, I think it was in the 60s or 70s, something like that, or maybe the 80s. This is the time era that they put the movie in. This is the origin of the Joker, how he became. So don't go expecting Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was already the middle Joker. Mm-hmm. This is the beginning of that Joker. Yeah. This is where it started, how it started. So let's get it right. This is a guy who just became this Joker. Heath Ledger is the Joker after this guy. So let's get that separated. Joaquin Phoenix did a hell of a job. Deserves an Oscar for this. All right?
I keep hearing that.
This kid had taken this character, this man has taken this character to a whole nother level. It shows you the origins of why him and Batman, why Bruce Wayne, why he is the way he is. People got his ideology was people are like rubber bands. You can only pull it so much
until they snap.
Before they snap.
Mm-hmm. That's strong.
And I was like, okay, I heard the video. I heard his interview, Joaquin Phoenix's interview, and he even said it. He goes, when I got the script, I read it. And I sat back and was like, what the fuck did I just read? And I had to read it again. He goes, and then he brought the ideology about the rubber band. You can only stretch a rubber band so far before it snaps. Mm-hmm. Well, this movie just showed what could happen to a bully. And I think the people it's pissing off are the bullies out there, because it's giving those people who are being bullied the ammunition to stop the bullying. Yeah. I loved it. I laughed. I thought it was amazing writing. The cinematography was amazing. Joaquin pulled out a performance like I've never seen him. He went dark. I mean, he went to a dark, dark place, and he made sense of what is going on in the world today. All this cyberbullying and this and this and that. But this was back when there wasn't even computers yet like there are today. There was no cell phones. We still had pay phones. The man was bullied and bullied and bullied, and he just snapped. But he brought the Joker to life that's been dead since Heath Ledger. Mm-hmm. No one's brought it to life like that. Jared Leto did a good job, but it wasn't the right cast around him.
No.
He
didn't have enough time.
He didn't have, exactly. It was all about the Suicide Squad and not Jared Leto as the Joker.
But they sold him so much on the trailers that they got everybody
everybody into it, and everybody was disappointed. Joaquin Phoenix is showing you the birth of the Heath Ledger Joker, where he ends up where he's at as the Heath Ledger Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is showing you the birth of this guy, and then you start to realize, wow, this guy's dark. It's twisted. His whole life was a lie. His whole life was a shit show, a comedy show, and he's had enough. So now he flips it onto the people who made fun of him. And I mean, it was amazing. It was an absolute amazing film.
I told your wife that I was going to tell my wife, but when she gets here, I'm going to tell her, hey, we're going to have to watch that movie. I want to watch it.
You got to watch it. You got to see it.
Same thing.
So me and Enrique were talking about it, and I told Enrique, we have friends say, oh, yeah, Heath Ledger's still my Joker. Yes. Heath Ledger's still my Joker, too, because he came out with a crazy performance.
And everybody said he wasn't the right pick. Before the movie came out, they said, why would you pick him?
Right. And he was absolutely amazing.
Man.
At that time era for the Joker.
Yeah.
But
Same
now
way Jack Nicholson,
right, for the comical Joker.
Joker for that time.
Right. So now no one knows how the Joker became the Joker. Now we know. Joaquin Phoenix introduced that part of the story that everybody washed away. All they know is Heath Ledger. Yes, he is the best to ever play the Joker. He probably will go down in history as the best Joker ever. Uh-huh. But how did he get to that? How did that Joker come about? Mm-hmm. Well, introduce Joaquin Phoenix, and here you go. This is how that Heath Ledger Joker became him, because of Joaquin. And this one was the birth of the Joker. Not Joker, not the Joker, but Joker. Mm. You know? So, it was an absolute amazing film. Love it. I can't wait. I'm buying that one.
Oh, me too.
I'm buying that one.
Me too. I haven't even watched it.
I don't even know if they make CDs anymore or DVDs.
The DVDs?
So everything's downloaded. MPG, MP, whatever. I don't even know.
And you're playing the
tech geek. Yeah, I'm playing the tech geek on Joanna, so I gotta learn all this lingo.
They still make DVDs, not CDs, man.
Oh yeah. They don't make those big ones anymore. Those big gold ones that you used to put in a big old DVD.
The fucking.
I can't remember the name of them.
Me neither. But I know what you're talking about. The retro thing where you play
laser discs.
Laser
yeah,
discs?
That's what they're called, laser discs. That's what they were called, laser discs. And they were some big laser discs, boy.
Laser disc, not laser dicks.
Well, yeah, one of the two. Laser discs. The same thing. But those were the big ones. They were gold. They were like a gold color. I'm like, that's a big ass record album, but it was a laser disc. I'm like, okay, so that was the end thing in the 80s. That's what I had. Now all of a sudden it's just plug it in your phone. Plug it where? You know where you charge it? There's that. You can do that there too? I guess these phones are like bisexuals or something. They can do all kind of stuff.
All right. Well, before I sign you out, man, do you have any special shout outs?
Yeah, I want to shout out to you, first of all, for coming out here to the ranch and having a good time.
Thank you.
And enjoying it.
Thank you.
My buddy, Enrique Guzman, I love him to death. He knows there's none but love there. Everybody on the OBK project.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you guys again and work with you guys and get this thing done the right way, professional, without he lies. For my partner, Emilio, can't wait to go be in LA with you. We're going to get you in the gym, we'll get you working out, get ready for Joanna on the ride. And for everybody out there who supported me, who's followed my career, I want to say thank you. I'm honored. I'm humbled. You guys can follow me on Facebook at Jose Santiago Jr. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Actor J Santiago.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay centered on all Indie Center podcast episodes. If you are an independent creator and have a story to share and want to have a sit down, please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. That's indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. If you have sponsorship inquiries, I'd love to help local businesses. Please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. Until next Monday, guys. Peace.